Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PC Planet, PC News from around the world. My name is Drew,
My name is Corey.
and we have got some spicy news today.
Oh, yes. Newegg,
Uh,
Best Buy, 3D NAND Flash missing,
or just gone, destroyed.
gone,
Who
just
knows?
gone.
It's gone. There's no more. There's no more solid states. Go home, everybody. Yeah. So first up, we got the GeForce GT 1010, which
Oh my
is
god.
somehow a stripped down GT 1030, which was already a stripped down piece of crap to begin with.
Yeah, dude, I've seen so many people get ripped off because they bought a PC in the used market that had a GT 1030 in it that was being advertised as a gaming PC. And the thing only has 384 CUDA cores. Now, to put that into perspective for you gamers out there, the RTX 3070 has 6,144.
Yeah, it's only got 2 gigs of VRAM too, which doesn't help.
Or I'm sorry, the 3070 Ti has 6144. The 3070 still has 5,888.
Yeah, no
And
no comparison there.
there's zero. There is zero comparison. And I've seen so many people get ripped off of rigs with this GT 1030, and now they offer a stripped down GT 1030 in the form of the GT 1010. I'm like, why don't we all just go back to 2007 with the 8800 GT laptop GPU?
Yeah, absolutely. And the worst part about the GT 1030 is there were actually two different versions. There was the version with GDDR5, which
Hmm.
was actually sort of halfway decent for like 720p esports like Rocket League and stuff like that.
Right, but they
But
also had a
then
DDR4 model.
DDR4 model, which I got stuck with accidentally,
Oof,
and it was like half the performance.
oof, oof, oof.
So that in a GT 1010, I what? No.
I mean, they're still both running the Pascal architecture. It looks like the 1010 is being marketed as like an office GPU for systems that don't have a integrated APU. But at the same time, how many people are going to get ripped off thinking this is a gaming graphics card, especially with the chip shortage?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people are just going to see GeForce or NVIDIA or, GT 10 series.
Yeah, and they're going to jump all over it.
Absolutely. I don't know how much else needs to really be said. This is a product that definitely does not need to exist.
No, considering it still uses the same manufacturing process as the 1030, there's no reason for it to be here. I mean, offices are doing just fine with the 1030. There's literally zero reason for the 1010 to exist. I mean,
Not at all.
it equates to just 5%. 5% of the 3070 of performance.
That's so sad.
Yeah, 5%. So if you're looking for gaming, if you're looking for a gaming PC and you see something with a 1010 or a 1030 in it, steer away because you might get 40 FPS on CS:GO.
Yeah, you're legitimately better off with an APU from AMD.
Oh yeah, exactly. The 5600G or the 3400G would absolutely decimate this 1010.
Absolutely. Speaking of decimating, let's decimate your wallet with Best Buy's $200 GPU paywall.
Oh my god, yes. So Best Buy used to have a thing where when they had a Best Buy drop, you could stand in line outside Micro Center style with a voucher and get your GPU. However, Best Buy has now begun offering first come first serve service to those who pay $200 a year for the Total Tech membership. So
Eh,
if there are 30 GPUs in stock, and you're number 31, and the 30 people in front of you have, or even the one behind you has the Total Tech membership, they get preferential treatment. You're not going to get the GPU because they're paying Best Buy the extra $200 a month for a Total Tech membership.
So basically, $200 to get scalped anyway.
Yeah, I mean, granted, the Total Tech membership gets you like free Geek Squad tech support, free 2-day shipping, 60-day returns,
Okay.
24 months of product protection, among other benefits. So if you buy like somebody Chris Topher in our group, he bought a vacuum from them, a Robo vacuum with the Total Tech, and he was able to make use of the warranty service with that. But that's more universal for people who are only looking for graphics cards for their gaming PC. Dropping an extra $200 on something they're not going to use? Come on, Best Buy.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous if you ask me. But in all fairness, it does seem like there are some extra benefits, especially if you do buy a lot of things from Best Buy. I could see how maybe you could think about it.
True, but I'm thinking more along the lines of the average user, or God forbid, the new user that's new to the PC market.
Absolutely. The average gamer who's just looking for a graphics card,
They're not
no,
going to care
this
about free Geek Squad tech support.
no, of
I
course not.
mean, for God's sakes, I've gone to Geek Squad and I intentionally went there. This was years ago. I intentionally went to Best Buy to make use of their Geek Squad as a test, and I went there with a slightly disconnected SATA cable. They tried telling me I needed a new motherboard,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. I'm surprised they didn't tell you they needed a new computer entirely.
yeah, and I did this at Geek Squad. I did this at, if you're old enough, you'll know this. I did this at Circuit City. I did this at Radio Shack way back in the day. And I got, oh, your power supply's bad. Oh, you need a new motherboard. Oh, your drive is dead. It's like no one thought to just check the SATA cable. And I actually did a prior test to this using an old IDE drive, and the IDE cable was slightly mismounted, and I got the same result. So yeah, you're paying in $200 and you get free Geek Squad tech support. But honestly, how valuable is that really?
For the average person, like you, me, average, not very.
I'll be honest. I think you and I, because we are familiar with the PC space, we are familiar with computers. You and I are the kinds of people that would think to check for the 24 pin, an IDE cable, make sure all your cables are connected properly. But for the average user, the one
No,
who just goes to Best Buy to buy a pre-built because they want to get into gaming, they want a laptop for, office work, those people aren't going to know the things that we do. They're going to go to Geek Squad. They're going to go to these tech supports and they're going to be like, "Oh, you need another motherboard." And they're going to be like, "Oh, well, geez, I okay, I guess I need a new motherboard. How much is that?" And they're going to get ripped off. So really, what is the benefit when it comes to free tech support of this Total Tech membership? Here's my question. You're a new guy. You're a newbie to the PC space. You have no idea what you're doing with computers. You're spending $200 for Total Tech membership, right?
right.
You go to Geek Squad because you got a pre-built, and in shipping, a SATA cable got disconnected, or the GPU got slightly misaligned, and they tell you that you need a new graphics card, or you need a new motherboard, or you need a new power supply, and it's only going to be $200, it's only going to be $1,000, it's only going to be $600, and you pay that. At what point does $200 a year for Total Tech become bullshit?
I mean, I think it really depends on the person, but for me, it's bullshit just to begin with.
I agree. I completely agree. I know that there are people out there who have the Total Tech membership and they love it. And you know what? If you have it and you love it, awesome. I'm happy for you. That's great. But there are many people who have it that don't need it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you need it, if it's useful for you, sweet, more power to you. But for me personally, it just kind of feels a little bit scammy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And on the note of scams,
Oh
uh,
my God. I know where you're
we've
going
got
with this.
we've got Newegg scamming not just Gamers Nexus, but probably a lot of other people. But
Oh
they
yeah.
happen to land on Gamers Nexus, Tech Jesus, and that was not a good spot to land on.
Oh yeah. For those of you who don't know, Gamers Nexus is a YouTube channel. He has about 1.57 million subscribers. Gamers Nexus, otherwise known as PC Jesus or Tech Jesus, he ordered his company ordered a Gigabyte 7490 Aorus Extreme for $600 open box from Newegg. Now, when they received it, they realized, you know what? During the time of shipping, we were able to figure out the issue. We no longer need this motherboard. So they contacted Newegg because Newegg has a 30 days, effectively, no questions asked, theoretically, no questions asked RMA process within 30 days.
Great, hassle free.
Exactly. Newegg comes back and says, nope, the item was damaged. There were bent LGA pins. And they refused to reply to continuous messages. This was an ongoing process that Steve had to go through. They tried saying that the CPU pins, the CPU socket pins, were bent, even though Steve and his company, they never opened the box that it shipped in. They never opened the motherboard box. They never even opened it at all. And they shipped it right back. Now, granted, it was an open box, but you would think that, like Micro Center, Newegg would properly certify an open box before it gets put up for sale. Here's the thing. All of a sudden, when Newegg got put on blast by Gamers Nexus, they suddenly magically went, "Oh my God, we're sorry to hear that. Here's the refund. Here's the motherboard." When Gamer Nexus got it back from Newegg, the packaging that they shipped it in was terrible. The box that the motherboard came in was absolutely screwed. And it turns out, when he opened it, that Newegg had actually shipped it to Gigabyte first for RMA before they even put it up for sale. You want to know what they shipped it to Gigabyte for? Socket damage. Gigabyte.
Specifically bent pins.
Exactly. And Gigabyte told Newegg, "Hey, you can spend $100 to fix the board, and we'll give it back to you." Newegg said no. They pulled the board back from Gigabyte and put it up for open box sale, knowing full well that the board was damaged.
What a scam.
Yeah, Tech Jesus got the board back, and he actually did a review of the board he got back, and that's where he saw the RMA data on a sticker from Gigabyte that was still attached to the board. He saw the bent pins, and he was, and it gets even better. At one point, tech support tried telling, or Newegg support tried telling Steve, who's the host of Gamers Nexus, they tried telling Steve that there was actually thermal paste on the motherboard, indicating that it had been used.
I
So it's like,
believe the term they used was thermal pate.
oh yes, you are correct. Thermal paste was applied to the board. So it's like, all right, Newegg, which is it? The pins are bent, or there's thermal paste on the board. Like, which one are you going for here? And they actually tried to. They did not initially issue a refund, and they actually tried to keep the board that Gamers Nexus Steve purchased from them. So not only did they refuse him a refund, they tried to keep the board too.
Yeah, I think Steve has a point. I don't know. He mentioned in the video that he doesn't know whether this was malicious or just incompetence. And I don't know either. One can only speculate at this point. But given everything that we know, given that Newegg had to know for a fact that this board already was damaged, they had already sent it to Gigabyte for repair, and then they refused to actually pay for the repair. This feels,
Malicious.
yes.
It truly does. And adding to the fact that in his videos, Steve mentioned that he had received several emails from other average users without the following that he has, who had experienced the same thing, where they got something open box from Newegg, it was damaged upon arrival, and when they sent it back for RMA, Newegg examined the product and said, "Oh, you must have done something to it. There's nothing we can do." And as an end user who doesn't have the 1.57 million subscribers that Steve does, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. I mean,
There's really nothing.
you could record a 45-minute video of you opening up the box, checking it, taking it to the post office, submitting the RMA, shipping it back. But let's be honest, like Steve said in his video, no one's going to watch a 45-minute video just to prove that you didn't screw with the board.
No, nobody's going to do that. And it's not fair to expect somebody to even make a video to prove that.
Exactly. 100%. 100%.
Well, I know that I will not be buying anything from Newegg from here on forward. Frankly, I've never I bought things from Newegg back when the things that I bought from Newegg were an AMD Duron 800 megahertz single core processor
Mm-hmm.
and the motherboard to go along with it back in the early 2000s.
I'll be
Uh,
honest with you. The only things that I will ever buy from Newegg are fans.
that's fair.
I
And I
mean,
probably wouldn't even do that at this point.
yeah. Honestly, given not only are they screwing over their users, as has been demonstrated by Steve with Gamers Nexus, they allow third-party sellers to sell on their site, which means you hop on Newegg and you see a GTX 1050 Ti, which retailed for $170, and it pops up on their site for $350 or $600 or $700, because like Amazon, they allow third-party sellers to advertise on their site, which royally screws up the used PC market because you have a person selling their PC who doesn't know a whole lot about computers, and they go, "Hey, how should I price out my PC?" And somebody says, "Excuse me." And somebody says, "Oh, hey, hop on Newegg, see how much it's going for." And because they're trying to get money, they hop on Newegg, they put in their part, and they put sort by highest price, and Bob's your uncle. Suddenly, they see an item that's going for 4 times what it retailed for, and they go, "Oh, wow, I can get that much for it? Okay." And then they put it up for sale at that price, and then I don't understand why they're getting laughed at. You know
Yep.
what?
Or they don't understand why it doesn't sell.
Exactly. You know what? Just as a test, let me go ahead and pop in GTX. Let's do a 1070. GTX 1070 launch price. So the GTX 1070 was launched in mid 2016 with a manufacturer suggested retail price of $380. Okay, $380 for a GTX 1070. Now let me go ahead and hop on Newegg, components, video cards, desktop graphics cards, loading up the web page. There we go. Let me go ahead, GeForce GTX 10 series, 1070, apply. The very first result is an MSI GTX 1070 for $906.
Ooh.
900. Just for the record, I haven't even sorted by highest price yet. It's defaulted to featured items. $906 for a card that launched at 380 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Now, $906 for this 1070. Okay. You know what? You know what? Actually, let's go crazy. Let's go crazy. Let's go ahead and do sort by highest price. A Gigabyte Aorus GeForce GTX 1070 for $1,090.
Oh my God! Call the nurse. I'm having a heart attack.
Well, you're already in the hospital. Don't be calling a nurse.
Well, I'm gonna need to call a nurse for that price.
Here's another one. The Asus GTX 1070, 1,084. Oh my God. Hey, bro, you want to call the nurse? Call a nurse now.
Uh-oh.
A PNY 1070 blower style card, $1,084.
A PNY.
Blower style for $1,084. Now let's go and hop on Micro Center. Let's see what $1,084 will get you. Computer parts, graphics cards. I have it set to my store as shippable items. Wow, right out of the gate. First result, MSI NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 Ti, which is like 230% more power than the aforementioned 1070 for $959.
$100 less.
$100 less for almost 300% the power. Because this is what Newegg does. In order to find a legitimate price, or at least semi-legitimate price, you have to go on Newegg, go on the left side, see where it says seller, click show more, and oh look, there's actually no one from Newegg selling this card. If you're wanting a legitimate price on something on Newegg, go over to the left side, click on show more, under seller, and make sure Newegg is selected.
Yep.
Because Newegg themselves tend to have competitive pricing. But they
have to.
Yeah, but because they allow third-party sellers to advertise on their site, it gets crazy. Here we have Micron Tech, Sam Electronic Commerce, Sinel, Hong Kong Store, whoop-de-doo, Atlanta Electronics LLC, Huali Digital, Birdman Electronics, Uluck, Smith's Computer Market, Various, Creator, Fairy PC, VGA Store. You have so many third-party sellers on Newegg that are absolutely royally screwing up the prices. You never know what something is valued at if you go there.
That's absolutely true. Let's see here. We've got one more topic, I think, on the kind of subject of damaged electronics from Gamers Nexus. Looks like we've got a bunch of solid state storage that has been contaminated. It looks like 6.5 exabytes of flash memory just gone, wiped out.
Yep, due to contamination.
Due to contamination. I'm still not really sure what contamination, but contamination is bad.
Yeah, Western Digital didn't really go into detail on what kind of contamination. Essentially what it looks like is 6.5 billion gigabytes of NAND chips were lost due to contamination.
Yep, and that's going to cause SSD prices to go sky high.
Oh yeah. The contamination could see the price of NAND and the main component of SSDs spike up to 10%, according to market research firm TrendForce. Any potential NAND shortages or price fluctuations could affect the PC markets over the next few months. This contamination was detected in late January at 2 plants in Japan, with the Western Digital's joint venture partner Coaxia, previously Toshiba, revealing it has affected BICS 3D NAND flash memory and Trend Force. Or I apologize.
Well,
Western Digital and Kiox's partnership amounts to around 30% of the NAND flash market, according to TrendForce. Both Western Digital and Kioxia primarily supply SSD and eMMC storage drives for PCs. For those of you who don't know, eMMC memory is like the little SSD cards that you, or SSD, the little SD cards you would get in notebooks.
yep, they're basically just micro SD cards on a chip.
Yep. It is not clear what caused the contamination, whether products on the market will need to be recalled, or when production will resume. However, WD, Western Digital, says it is working closely with its joint venture partner Coaxia to implement necessary measures that will restore the facilities to normal operation status as quickly as possible. However, this does not really say how prices will be affected or when the affection will end.
Yeah, and honestly, prices may not be affected. It may just be more of the market is going to affect its own prices.
I'll be honest, I hate to be the pessimist in this case, but I have a feeling that marketers will use this as an advantage to raise their pricing.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And it's unfortunate, but as we've seen with the GPU market, that's just what happens.
Yep, I agree.
Well, unless you have anything else to add here, Corey, I think we're going to wrap things up.
Yeah, I think that about covers it for this week. Was there
This
anything else you had to add, Drew?
not on my end. This week's episode of PC Planet has been sponsored by the like button. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like what we have here. And we will see you next time. My name is Drew.
My name is Corey, and if you're in the Colorado, USA area, feel free to join the Southern Colorado Computer Enthusiasts. We are a Facebook group. We're very, very intent on helping people who are new to the PC market. You're not, if you post here, you're not going to get flamed. You're not going to get made fun of, and we are 100% anti-scalper.
Yes, sir. And if you want to visit us at our Facebook group, just go ahead and get over to sccetech.net/Facebook.
And thank you to Drew for setting that up for us.
And you are very welcome, Corey. And that is going to be all for tonight.
All right. Have a good one, everyone.
We'll see you next week.